Hello and welcome to your NARSA weekly update for the week commencing Monday the 9th of September 2024. It's Gary here again, and I don't know about you, but I feel a wee bit better having had a bit of appropriate distance between me and Rangers Football Club for the past week or so. I don't know if you could tell, I don't know if you listened last week. I imagine most people, kind of like me last week, were like, I'm done with this club, I'm done with this team, I'm fed up with this. I still had to record the podcast, and you probably heard in my voice last week, it wasn't my most enthusiastic work, I have to say. I got through what I had to get through, and it was a slog. I just didn't feel like doing it, to be perfectly honest with you. But my commitment to you is that I will be here every Monday, and that's hopefully going to be the case as we move forward towards better times. And I have to admit that I am starting to miss the team now. I'm at that spot, kind of like in the, halfway, I guess, almost. I guess a wee bit over halfway now through the international break. And I'm just looking forward to seeing them again, looking forward to the engagements. I kind of forget that in the lead up to, during the match and after the match, how many interaction points I have with people all over the world, literally all over the world, about the team, about how we're doing, about how we're performing or not, and what the potential outpourings of emotions that come from that are, and what the potential ramifications are of our performances and results. And then we go into international break and everybody kind of goes dark, goes to sleep almost, and then I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm on my own here, nobody's talking to me, what's that? And then so I'm looking forward to at least just getting a bit more sociable and social as the game nears a kick-off here on Sunday morning, my time anyway. So do you know what, I wanted to start just this week, we have quite a lot to cover this week actually, but just in terms of understanding what life is like and the ebbs and flows of life depending on what season you're in life. And really I came to this realisation yesterday as I was thinking, about the club, about the team, about the journey that we've been on for this past, it feels like way too long, for this past while, let's just say. And everything in life typically compounds on itself, as you go forward. We've all had times in our lives that we've experienced that. We could be on a roll and thing after thing after thing just goes our way. It's flowing very, very easy. Things are easy, things are fun, things are just getting better all the time and somewhat effortless. And then we have other times when it goes the other way and things are just more and more difficult, and the difficulties just kind of compound on each other, and it feels like absolutely nothing is or can go right. And this is what's been happening at our club with the the dour end to the last season, 23-24, a somewhat uninspiring summer, including friendlies being away from Ibrox and a transfer window that certainly didn't get us jumping out of our seats with excitement. Some players are still here that we thought might be gone. That's certainly at the time of recording anyway. And then add in, what do we call it? Steelgate? Asian Steelgate, something like that. And the delays for reopening the stadium, the dismal exit from the Champions League, and 3 out of 4 quite uninspiring league performances that leaves us joint 4th in the table. Already 5 points behind the leaders, no new CEO in place, which obviously points to the fact that there was little to no succession planning conducted at the senior levels of the club, no director of football in place, and the communications from the club being less than informative, because quite frankly there's nothing much in the way of positivity surrounding how we're positioned as a club, as an entire club for right now. It's all compounding to make it quite difficult to truly enjoy being a Rangers fan right now, and we all know what makes things better at Rangers Football Club, and that's winning football matches and truly competing for trophies. It's early days yet, but I mean, we've been off to a pretty rough start indeed. But the great news is that we're back at Ibrox for the League Cup game on the 21st of September, and that is likely, I think we'll probably look back on this in terms of history of our season, that's likely the very first significant step on a road to recovery and just getting things feeling a little bit more normal, a little bit more within our control, and see how things go from there. And maybe, who knows, the CEO might be next through the door, and then other recovery items after that, and then that might compound itself to getting more consistency, more what would you say, freedom on the pitch, more more understanding of who we are as a team, and a better return on the endeavour that we're putting in on the pitch to start to claw back some of those points that we have gifted and given away at the early part of the season. Yes, I just did want to start there by talking about the compounding effect of things, and we're just in a negative compounding cycle right now, and it could turn very quickly if Philippe's new signings turn out to be excellent and turn out to be exactly what we're hoping for. On the game segment, of course, no games this last week. We had 2 games for Scotland, of course, which ended in, I guess what you could say is, predictable defeats, albeit very late, to both at home to Poland and away to Portugal. So 2 difficult games in and of themselves. But I was actually joking with some pals yesterday saying that Steve Clarke's record is almost as bad as Philippe Clement's, almost as bad as Philippe Clement's, and yet he's still the guy that's gleefully leading us through our next European qualification journey. So I don't know, I guess that's the way that things are going for him. Good for him. But 1 game this week, and that's back to proper business, and it's in the league, and that's away at Tannadice to Dundee United on Sunday the 15th of September, 7 AM Eastern Standard Time kickoff, noon in the UK. I have zero idea what to even say about this one. We know for a fact Dundee United are going to be up for it, their fans are going to be up for it, and we know that we typically struggle with these early games and with games away from home. So hopefully Philippe Clement has some aces up his sleeve, and he's going to integrate these new players pretty quickly and give them an opportunity to see what life is like and get us out there, get the swagger back, and get a good, proper, decent result for us. And when I say good, proper and decent, I mean 3 points and nothing less. Please, Philippe. So on the shout-outs, I have quite a few shout-outs this week. And I'm going to start with information that we sent through to our NARSA membership on the weekend, I believe it was, maybe Saturday morning, I think it was Saturday morning my time anyway, and it's not the best of news in that we've unfortunately lost Nicola Fatkin from the NARSA executive. We've not lost her, she's alive, folks, she's doing great, and it's actually because she's doing so great that we are losing her as the marketing and sponsorship director from the executive. Nicola recently purchased a pub and has been absolutely completely consumed by all things pub since then. So as I say, a fantastic news story for Nicola and for her family, for her life and her ongoing career, but it's a loss for NARSA. So Nicola took the very tough decision last week to resign effective immediately, that was last week, from her position as marketing and sponsorship director, and I knew that it was a very, very tough decision for Nicola, and one that she had wrestled with for quite some time, but she didn't want to do a half-hearted job of her work for the NARSA membership and NARSA at large. So she made the tough decision to say, not right now, hopefully I can come back at some other time, but please do let me know if there's anything that I can do to help going forward. So a very classy exit from the NARSA executive, and of course she leaves with my personal thanks and best wishes for everything that she contributed to NARSA during her time with us. What we're going to do as an executive with the marketing and sponsorship director role is we're basically going to disperse some of the roles and responsibilities from that role to other members of the executive, and we'll carry that forward up to and including the AGM next year, where we will look to replenish the position and put someone new in the position. With us not having a significant meeting between now and the AGM, we will have our winter meeting that's typically very sparsely attended. There's no real need or point to go through an election so soon close to the next AGM. So we'll muscle away as best as we can on that. And once again, Nicola, thank you very, very much for everything. On to a couple of births. One of them, if you're active on social media and you follow the Rangers SLO, you will have seen that Greg Marshall has been taking a bit of paternity leave because his first daughter, Nola, was born, I think that was a couple of weeks back now. And I don't know, forgive me, I don't know the exact date, but I know that he didn't show up for the last bi-weekly meeting that we have for the convention, and that was because the good news had happened and he was in full-blown father mode. I understand he's enjoying it. I understand he's going through what most first-time parents go through, and it's kind of like, oh, what's happening? What is this? And I think he's enjoying it. In fact, I know for a fact he's enjoying it. I had a quick chat with him over WhatsApp this morning, and he is doing well. Mum is doing great. Nola is doing great as well, and I'm sure he's enjoying a wee bit of a break from the club and the various duties that would be his to progress during these tough times as well. So congratulations, Greg, and all the very best. It's the best job you will ever have, my friend. Trust me on that. On the same vein, my nephew Michael McNally and his lovely fiance, I believe, that they are engaged. Yeah, they are engaged. Yes, they are engaged. They had a daughter who was not named initially, and I almost had a reaction to say, who does that? And then I remember 15 and a bit years ago that my wife at the time and myself did that very thing as well, because as soon as Leo was born, we were like, oh, he doesn't look like a Sam, he doesn't look like a Dan, he doesn't look like a Ben. We're not 100% sure, and we went with Leo. Yes, it was just 3 letters. That's all we could afford at the time. But yeah, so they finally named little Mila McNally, and she is doing great. Michael is having a great time. All his friends, and I think everyone else in the world knows him as Mick McNally, but he's always been Michael to me, and he'll always be Michael to me, and it's so fantastic to see how much he's immersing himself in it. His experience is quite similar to Greg's experience, and they're kind of having that woofed moment where they're like, this is real, and this is weird, and this is different, and this is just a bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be. But he is all over it. He is absolutely loving it, and he's getting himself really full blown into dad mode. It's so great to see. So congratulations to all involved there. Well done. I'm very, very proud of you, Michael. That's fantastic, fantastic news. I wanted to put a special belated birthday message to my niece Chloe, who had her birthday on the 4th of September last week, and with that rule of a couple of weeks before, a couple of weeks after, I'm slap bang within the time. We had a wonderful party on Saturday afternoon to wish Chloe a happy birthday. I was bang on time for the party at the time I said I was going to arrive. Everyone appreciated it. We had a great time. Not exactly the best preparation for a 10k race in the morning, but I'll come on to that in a wee second. But happy birthday, Chloe. Happy belated birthday, Chloe, and I hope you had a fantastic time. It was great to spend it with you. And on the race, I want to just congratulate and thank and tell how my son how very, very proud I am of him. Leo and I went to the Canmore Rocky Mountain half marathon 10k 5k race, which we've done for the last couple of years, few years maybe now. I've been doing it for quite a wee while, and Leo's just started to actually do the racing component. Maybe last year was his first year, now that I think about that. Anyway, last year he finished 4th in the 5k, which was incredible. This year we got up, things are a wee bit fuzzy in the morning, I have to say. Too many Coronas on Saturday night, and then we got ourselves out there. Leo slept most of the journey. It was kind of chilly when we got there. The atmosphere wasn't just a pure 100% adrenaline rush at that point. I take off on my 10k race, and then I finished. Leo's race started a wee bit after mine, finished a wee bit before I finished. And what does he do? He goes and finishes first, and not just first in the under 16 category, which is what they have them categorised on the website. He was the fastest 5k out of 900 plus athletes who were there. I'll say athletes maybe in inverted commas, lots of people doing it for fun and just for something to do, but to go from 4th to first. And by the way, his time, he could have got better on his time. He knows that as well. And he was absolutely thrilled. I was absolutely delighted. I'm a very sweaty guy when I'm running. I gave him the biggest, sweatiest hug, which I'm sure he did not appreciate at all. But what an incredible performance. And I'm just beaming. I'm beaming. He's been my best pal ever since he has been born, and that will continue till the day I take my last breath. And I'm sure Michael and Mila will be the same, and Greg and Nola will be the same. And when you get to this point where you get to see some achievements and some hard work manifesting itself into the results that you're hoping for, it's just absolutely brilliant. Maybe Rangers could take a bit of note on that. Leo, congratulations, son. I'm very, very, very proud of you, and I'm so, so delighted to be your dad. I don't even know why I'm saying this, because I know for a fact he never listens. He says, I get to hear it all day, every day. So, alright, if you like. On to something maybe not quite as cool as the women's team's performances or maybe not the performances, but the results in the last two games where they were trying to qualify for the Champions League. They went down 6-0 to Arsenal last Wednesday, with 5 of those goals coming in the second half, and then they had a second match against Atletico Madrid on Saturday and succumbed to a 3-0 defeat on that. So, ouch, 9 goals against and none for. That's basically what they do to every other team that they play that's not Glasgow City or that mob from the East End in the Scottish Power Women's Premier Division. So it's hard going again. And interestingly enough, they were only 1-0 down to Madrid at half-time again. So I don't know if that's a fitness thing. I don't know if it's just good teams wearing you down and then basically capitalising on the fact that you're exhausted. But I mean, we knew that these teams were going to, especially Arsenal, were going to be more than a match for the women's team. And unfortunately, they went down. So the Champions League journey is over for another year, which is too bad, but might not be the worst thing that happens to them in terms of them trying to regain the Premiership trophy in domestically in Scotland. So that's too bad for them, and it's maybe just a little bit of a, we have lots and lots of progress to make and see how we go from there. But unlucky for Joe Potter's team there, not the week that we were hoping for. In terms of the convention update, I can confirm that it is officially 276 days and 39 weeks, we're in the 30s now, of the weeks until we descend upon Kissimmee in Osceola County, Florida, and go berserk for a few days from the 12th to the 15th of June, and that is, of course, at Omni Orlando at Champions Gate. We did confirm a couple of weeks back there that we have John Bomber Brown and Mark Haitley coming along with us. We've confirmed the alcohol pricing before. Domestic beer $6.50, import beer $7.50, call brand drinks $7.50, bottled water soft drinks $6, and I'm still on the case about the wine. Trust me, I keep saying that every week, but I am. We are genuinely actively pursuing entertainment options right now, and we will be announcing some stuff hopefully in the next wee while. Maybe not this week, but we'll see. You never know, things maybe move a bit quick, you never know, but we're in a position to really start to kind of figure out who we want to get, what we want to do, what the evenings look like, and get that organised. On the golf front, I will hopefully get the golf out a little bit later this week, maybe. Well, actually, maybe not, because I don't want to compete with the ticket pricing for right now, which I'll get to in just a second. Hotel rooms are out, and they are basically all in about $228 American dollars per night for that. And just a reminder that the first night deposit will literally be taken from your credit card upon booking, so don't forget that. And I have been saying for quite some time that ticket pricing is a matter of priority, and it has been a matter of priority for us for basically the last couple of months, to be perfectly honest with you. And we finally got things organised, ironed out. We went through a series of testing over the last couple of weeks, and I'm very happy to report that the testing was indeed successful throughout the whole process of inquiring about, selecting the number of tickets that you're looking for, paying for the tickets, getting your confirmation of your tickets, and the money flowing through to the NARSA accounts. So, announcement time, the tickets are now officially on sale. I will put the link to the ticket site, but if you just go to narsa.ca and click on the convention page, it will take you there. You will see the opportunity to purchase your tickets. Now, here's the important part, the ticket pricing. And this is one of the things that actually took us quite a while to try and land on, to get ourselves the best opportunity to make sure that we can pay for everything that has to be paid for and give people a very poignant and enjoyable experience when they're there. And that of course includes entertainment, it includes the meal for the banquet, the Walter Smith Memorial Grand Banquet, it includes the VIPs being in attendance and the other things that we like to try and do. So the ticket prices for next year's convention are $265 for the full 3-night package. We're only doing 3-night packages for right now to see how that goes initially, and if we get sold out of those or there is massive demand for Thursday, Friday only, we'll think about that as we go forward, but just consider the fact that it's only 3-night packages for right now. So $265, that's all in. That includes all of the fees and everything, the transaction fees and booking fees and such, as everything's all built in to that, so that you're not getting bumped with any further fees. So a little bit more expensive than we've done before. The world is a little bit more expensive than we've enjoyed before, unfortunately, and this is a bit of a sign of the time. So I would encourage you to go to the NARSA website and click on and get your tickets as quickly as you can. It's a very exciting time. I'm very, very happy to do that and get going on that. We did have a further follow-up meeting with 5 Stars, our convention partner for 2025 earlier today, and did some brainstorming, banded around some ideas about some potential VIP experiences that we could put on at the convention. And it's great to have that collective group think in there and give ourselves the best opportunity to do the very best that we can for our guests that are coming. So lots and lots and lots of work happening behind the scenes, happening in the invisible, as I like to say, and hopefully that will be of much benefit to you going forward. The one thing we're always trying to get the tickets on sale on the back of a positive event. For example, on the back of a Scottish Cup win, on the back of an Old Firm victory, on the back of some good news for the club. The club don't seem to want to play ball with that, so I'm going to use this opportunity in the middle when we're maybe not quite as mad at them as we were, and we're building up a wee bit of anticipation of what might happen this coming weekend. But please do not delay, please do not prioritise Oasis over NARSA 2025. We have a lot of people doing a lot of things that are going to create an experience that will absolutely not be matched, hasn't been matched before, and I don't know that it will be matched again with all the key players involved that we have for next year. Really, really looking forward to that. Absolutely delighted and thrilled to get the tickets out on sale, and thank you very much to everyone on the NARSA executive for all your help, your support, and more importantly your patience on this one and getting it ready to get out there. On to the communications for the Gers Guide. Today there's an interview with Sophie Black from the Rangers women's team, and talking essentially about the Champions League experience. Tomorrow the tickets for the forthcoming women's match against Spartan the tickets are going on sale tomorrow. On Wednesday there's an international review, and there are 2 big interviews, one with former player Billy Ritchie and another one which is basically a rerun, I guess you could say, of a big interview with John Gregg. Not a lot happening Thursday. On Friday is the press conference for the Dundee United game on the weekend. On Saturday there's a bunch of different things happening, but there's also a big interview there with Ray Wilkins, and I haven't seen that Ray Wilkins one, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what that one looks like. And then on Sunday, of course, we have the Dundee United match away, and Rangers are playing at home to Spartans, and that's at Broadwood Stadium with a 4 p.m. UK kick-off time, so that's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The other big communication news that came out last week, or I guess it was on the weekend now that I say that, was the statement made by Dave King. And when it was first circulated, the first I seen it, Brian Campbell actually posted it on the NARSA WhatsApp group, and I guess it had come via Chris Jack and Dave have a good working relationship, I should say, sorry, in terms of getting information out to the masses. And I'm just going to read through it here, if you don't mind. We're all immensely disappointed at the performance of our team and its decline since Title 55. That, however, is not the fault of the present team or the individual players who were approached to play for the club, not the other way around, and who are mostly doing the best. We all judge player performance. That is part of being an emotional supporter. We wish slower players to be faster. We wish less creative players to be more creative, etc. Ultimately, it is the balancing of many factors that create a successful team. That is why player recruitment should assess multiple aspects inter alia: the player's technical ability, temperament, character, very important at Rangers, leadership and team compatibility. Different skill sets are required to ensure a balance in any successful team. Any player signed by Rangers must assume that he passed that standard and therefore must perform in accordance with his abilities and the manager's instructions for any given game. Individual players cannot be held accountable if the combined result of recruitment and team preparation results in poor performance. Rangers supporters are loyal supporters. Turning on our captain, who has been 100% loyal to Rangers and, memories are short, repeatedly saved us in key games for a decade, is the opposite of loyalty, and I hope that most supporters will join me in condemning such behaviour. Supporter anger should not be directed at our team. Our club finds itself in a largely self-inflicted decline, but turning on our own players is not the Rangers' way. I know John Bennett is devastated by current events and is working immensely hard behind the scenes. We have a challenging period ahead and need to pull together to get through it. Very hard-hitting, a very, if I could say, typical Dave King statement, where he comes out and he just tells it like it is, and that's what we've been missing for a number of years in terms of leadership at the club. I know that Dave isn't directly involved in the club now, but he is a majority shareholder and has a lot to say, and he's the type of guy that when he says something, people listen. I certainly do, and I know that the majority, if not all of you, would listen too, and that's what we're kind of missing, the ability to go out and talk in genuine brass tacks, basically, to say we're all disappointed. This is not what's happening, but this is not what should be happening. Not at all. Direct your anger in the right places. Leave the players, with the unenviable task right now, at least anyway, of trying to pick these results up, pick this team up, give ourselves an opportunity to reach the standards that have been set by generations and generations and generations before. I love the statement, and forgive me for reading it out. I know you've probably heard that a couple of times now, but that's what it is. It takes all sorts to make up a team, and the team recruitment doesn't start with the manager saying, yes, I think that's a good idea. It's all the way back to the recruitment process, and I have no idea how robust the recruitment process has been. Time will tell for this season. Of course, we have a few new players, more than a few new players, I guess, if you count the ones that we signed at the beginning of the transfer window, but we have to get it right, and we have to get it right quickly, and that's just the way that it is. So good on you, Dave. Thank you very much for sending such a statement out, and hopefully it gave us an opportunity to kind of just sit and think and breathe and then move forward, hopefully with anticipation and excitement to what the season could potentially be. It is a very, very dire situation we find ourselves in. There's no getting away from that. But one main crumb of comfort I have is that it's very, very early in the season. We have an opportunity to meld this team together, to put it into something that's going to be palatable for both our domestic and European performances and results, and then give us the opportunity to succeed after that, and give us an opportunity to challenge, an opportunity to fight, an opportunity to get the fans off of their seats and do what needs to be done to get this club back to where it belongs, because it's been way, way, way too long for that. In terms of events, just another couple of reminders. Friday the 27th of this month, the Rangers Ladies Lunch, Pedro Mendes and Lee McCulloch will be there, and the charity ball is at the very beginning of November, the 2nd of November, at the Doubletree by Hilton as well. Bit of a jam-packed show today, and that's pretty good to have that while I don't have a game to cover, and I hope that was good for you. I hope that you're back and listening and enthusiastic for this week, and that will do it for this week, my friends. As always, thank you very, very, very much for taking the time to listen, and please do share it with whomever you think might enjoy it. And basically, here's to returning to form, here's to establishing what our form is, I guess is probably the best way to say it. And here's to getting excited about going home to Ibrox the following weekend. Take care of yourself this week, my friends, and all the very best. Follow.